Never see another nigga like this. Never had it like this. I've been on the night shift. Now I walk past words sharper than a ice pick. All you rappers is rappers. Niggas for rappers for us. Shit, so I'm moving. How you know you gon' need to get up on it? Let's get see. Let's get the witness. You gon' come down on the line. You gon' hear what the righteous be dead. Example, for a speech. Poor niggas that I'm willing to step like some teachers. Brothers out of fences. So you real. No one out. Red hat and military. You just on the train. Don't tell me what it's all about. Let's get out of the mouth. Look for action. Look in my book. Why you was not a man? Now we get the wrong shit.
Bluetooth pairing.
Going up soon, so that's we're still good to go. All right. Shalom Israel. This is the ISUPK coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm the Commanding General Yohana. I'm Officer of 1,000 Live Gun. Today we're on the ISUPK law class. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about revolution, right? We're gonna talk about what has happened to the so-called black revolution that had passed, and the only revolution that's gonna stand, which is the ISUPK. And I'm gonna show you why. You know what I'm saying? Look, you gotta look back at all the movements that we've had. We've had the Marcus Garvey movement, the Back to Africa movement. We had the Black Panthers, the Civil Rights. All those movements have not done black people the justice that they need. Right? We're still having the same arguments, still fighting for our identity, and we're even more scattered now than we've ever been. And you know, we have more technology, we have more resources, we have more people that give a damn about each other, right? So what is the reason that we cannot get on the same page? Why are we still the only nation that have no idea? Why does it matter to us, right, for us to be on the same page? Because one thing I noticed about black people, whether or not we believe in the same thing, we do give a damn about each other, right? That's why you might have somebody who's strong on this movement or strong on that movement, right? And the scriptures definitely talk about our people in that manner, right? Give me first one I want you to give me, Warrior. Give me First Peter chapter 4. Let me know when you get there. My favorite, drop that. Hold what you got. Let's give me Romans 10 first. Romans 10 and 1. That's what we got to understand. Our people have a spirit to fight, right? Our people have this spirit that when we know something ain't right as a whole, we know all this stuff that I've been doing, you know, something is wrong. Hey, Shalom, y'all, Shalom,
Shalom, Yahshua, Shem Yahushua, so let's see.
Slack you, sir.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brother, my heart desire and prayer to God, pray to God for Israel, is that they may be saved, they might be saved. For I bear them records that they have the zeal of God.
He said he bears them the record that they do have the zeal of God. Our people, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, have the zeal of God.
You
cannot deny that.
Look at the other movements that's been going on. Look at what happened with, why do we know about Muslims as black people? Why do we know about it?
Because we, like you say, because we in it.
So what made it famous? A better question. What made Muslim famous?
The military,
No. How did you know? When you first heard about Muslims, right? You heard about Malcolm X, who by blood is an Israelite, but he chose to be a Muslim. But he had the zeal to grow as a Muslim, right? A lot of those black men that followed him into that, they had zeal, but they didn't have the actual information they needed, right? Even though Muslims refer to the Bible, some of his most famous quotes and things he said he got from the Bible, right? But people like him, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? Those who made Muslims a household name in the black community, right? I didn't know what a Muslim was myself until I saw the movie Malcolm X. I wasn't around, Muslims not around here like that, right? So when I saw that movie, I said, "Man, what is that?" You know what I'm saying? It piqued my curiosity as a child as to what he was involved in, because they take our strongest and that will go into that movement. It's gonna make that movement strong. But the problem with that is, it's an error of God. Muslims do not benefit black people. In 2025, the Muslims have not solved the problem for black people because they don't have the answer. And then they all turn on each other, right? The Muslims killed Malcolm. Everybody know that. They unalived Malcolm, right? There was all kind of scandal going on in between each other. And up until the day where a Muslim will tell you, yeah, I robbed you after Ramadan, right? The Ramadan on, I won't do nothing to you. When Ramadan off, it's on me, right?
Okay.
So that a lot of people are destroyed behind that kind of stuff. The Black Panther movement, same thing. It's still around in some, I guess, I've heard, I see it, but it's not what it's supposed to be. You started something that strong in the 70s when you was all at the White House, marching, all this stuff you said in play should still be here, and it's not. We know them for what, school lunches and stuff like that, and standing outside against they were directing traffic in neighborhoods where it wasn't no stoplight. Well, the white man solved that, right? What else you supposed to be doing? Gathering your people together on a righteous manner, but we couldn't do that. You know why they couldn't do that? Because they didn't have no laws. They didn't have the laws of God to govern you. They allowed their brothers to get high on their spare time. You can't have a movement when your key soldiers are drug addicts. You cannot do that. They're gonna slip. They're gonna sell you out on the CIA press. They're gonna sell you out on the CIA. They get pulled over, and they gotta go to jail. And now they gotta go to jail. And not get to their drugs. They're gonna sell you out. They're gonna see what happened. Even their leader, UP died in the home. No rules were involved. It was just let's go outside and let's move. And the white man dealt with them so cunningly. They came up on them with the guns. It was allowed everybody to have a gun. White man changed that law, right? They solved the stoplight problem. They solved the free lunch problem. They neutralized your benefit, what you were doing to the black community, right? So you had to keep finding a different angle to fight for black people.
So like this. Then Martin came in and helped them out even
Then who?
Then Martin came in and helped them out even.
I mean, yeah, but well, you know, Black Panthers came a little bit after Martin. He was there. Black Panthers rose up after Martin Luther King died. When Martin King was unalive, that's when black people began. They got angry. It was like riots that happened. They got mad now. He was the last straw for black people just tipping their head. I think that led up to the 70s and 80s. Niggas was like, all right, you got to kill all of us now. That's what I'm saying. It was a lot going on. But guess what the white man did? He actually started, it was more police unalive. They didn't care about shooting you. I think I was talking to a brother the other day when they were talking about what happened to the brother Bobby Hood. He was with that, what was that brother? He was a mole. Damn. He was a mole, man. He was in the movie too. Light-eyed brother in the movie Panther. He was a real brother. Damn, I can't think of his name. His name on tip it's just skipping my brain, but he came on to the Black Panthers later on, but they found out that he was a mole from the CIA, right? He ended up getting. He told brothers when you get pulled over to get butt naked so you don't get shot. You will have to be a CIA mole, and that actually happened. He got pulled over with a younger brother named Bobby Hood. I remember that brother's name. He got unalive. He unalive that brother. They got pulled over by the police because they was trying to break in somebody's house, doing some kind of so like they were ambushing the police. After what happened to Martin, they was ambushing the police, right? Shooting at the police, just shoot police riding by, they shooting at them. They don't get them when they catch them, they corner them. He tell them, hey, take the clothes off. And the young brother like, what you mean take my clothes off? I ain't getting naked for these folks, they gonna take me to jail. No, they end up shooting him. And the brother, his name still came in my head, man. I'm gonna think of this right after class over and be mad as hell. But the brother survived, the young brother got killed. Right? So that was foolishness though. My point is saying that why you just go randomly shoot at the police?
Yeah.
What part of the revolution was that? There's no rules on that, right? And that goes back to not knowing the scriptures. Because when you go out and attack Esau and it's not self-defense, you're gonna lose. Mm-hmm. Your moves have to be aggressively, but also self-defense. You got to move aggressively in terms of separating from them. You got a war that's spiritual. You got to fight first. Then the physical war gonna come. Because what our people fail to realize is, once we begin to pull away from them, they're gonna attack us.
Right. So
that's what we don't know. We're so busy trying to ingratiate and take over what they have. If we pull back and stop trying to be a part of them, like this FBA thing, they worry about reparations and making up a lineage and all that kind of craziness. When you have a lineage that you want to ignore, you will never be able to prove any other lineage except Israelites. You can trace your history and look back and see past Africa. A lot of us cannot get past Africa. Your DNA is not going to bring you to Africa. I mean, it's like your DNA is going to bring you to Africa, but you have a history before Africa. The average DNA test that you take, that you're paying for, is going to go back 500 years. You cannot trace a black man's history 500 years when we were in slavery since 1619. It's impossible because you're going to trace it back to Africa. The one that you got to get is the one that they got to get your father DNA, right? The maternal one is the one people usually take because everybody understands you from the seed of your father. Mm-hmm. But you know how hard it is to go get, if you are black in America, came through slavery, to track your father's DNA? You know how hard that is? His name wasn't his name. So how do you know what his name was? You got to track that to a damn name. But you can't do that. And you don't know that because you don't follow your instruction manual. That's why we don't look at the DNA. It'll be dumb if you know you came over in slavery and they gave you a new name. It's going to stop whatever that slave name was they gave your great-great-grandfather. and we don't know what his name was for it. And that's why we get caught up in all this stuff, man. Right? So that's a different topic with DNA. I want you to understand that. That's a major thing people got to know. And that comes from leadership. That comes from you not using this book that every movement. I don't care if you're against the Bible, right? I noticed even people that's atheists that try to start an atheist movement, you can't even get that movement started without dealing with the Bible first. You got to talk about the Bible. If you really are atheist and you got your mindset on being over here, just go over there. But you can't bring nobody over there with you unless you talk about this Bible. You got to sit there and dissect and find little stuff, about the Bible. Seeing stuff that ain't there, making up grapings and stuff like that. Well, it's not going to work. Trust me, if they haven't destroyed this Bible by now, it's never going anywhere. It's always going to be a part of black people. It's not a movement big enough to destroy the Bible. And that's why any revolution you have got to be based off of this. Keep reading it.
Salaki, sir. Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
But not according to knowledge. Knowledge is knowing yourself. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is knowing the difference of things, having discernment, knowing your history. But you don't have it's not according to knowledge. And you don't get that knowledge till you follow the Most High. You won't get it. Trust me, before I joined the UPK, I scoured the earth for the truth, man. When I say I set up and researched and traveled places and looked, talked to people, and could not get the answer till I found the UPK, that's how I got to go. Some people just join, and that's a blessing to just join. But me, I had to scour the earth because it was so much out there, right? I had to look here, listen here, listen here, listen here. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while before I could even really listen to the UPK. I'm like, them niggas crazy. I saw how aggressive niggas were. I'm looking like, man, what's going on with that? Them niggas going to jail. You know what I'm saying? I remember saying that to myself when I first read it. I understand. But then you got to understand it's a certain way a black man that's reading this Bible, it means it's going to have to be. Right? Now, in certain places, you can have your words, smoother, but that aggressiveness is UPK. It's all day. You know what I'm saying? That's what the earth needs, to see a black man not afraid to speak up about this Bible. Right? We are aggressive about everything else. You hear a black man, you hear a brother talk about politics, money markets, anything, right? Even drug dealers. Niggas are passionate about drug dealing. They don't speak so passionately about it. When it comes to that Bible, they just, you know what I'm saying?
In a 3-6, slap yourself. It's
Right.
in a 316. The only thing
That's what killed him. That's a heavy point you brought out, because the main thing is when you come into this thought process, you got to be against the white man. And that's what I notice a lot of movements are afraid to do. It's a few of them out there not afraid to speak up on it. Most of them are afraid to come against the white man. Right? A lot of them understand the Africans are not our people. When you see somebody that white teeth man, now you trip. It wasn't them, it was their profile. No, you're benefited from that. And you're afraid of them. Right? And you have to have a problem with the fact that there are no white ghettos in America. What's a famous white ghetto? Name me one. What's a famous white ghetto?
Trailer park. Trailer park.
It's a trailer park somewhere, right? But that's not even a high crime area, right? Not even considered like a bad area.
It's like they ain't on top of each other, put like that.
Right, exactly.
They got their own little space.
Exactly.
They ain't sitting.
If they get to fighting, it's Billy Bob fighting Johnny, and they get over. It's not considered a dangerous area. We got famous black projects. Cabrini Green, Slauson Ave. What they got there in Miami? What they call that spot?
The
They got the bluff. That's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They got all this famous neighborhoods, right? Like what we for crack. We make everything except the right thing famous. So that's how you know we are the salt of the earth. And we don't realize that. But they've taken our zeal and made it to according to that knowledge. So you would think you got knowledge, but you don't have knowledge of this Bible to take what you want to do. Because like I said, I think most of them that's not into drugs or street stuff, I think they actually do care about black people. That's not a question. I just think they have the wrong knowledge. I know they have the wrong knowledge. That's why it doesn't work. That's why everything that comes together falls apart. It's like the Tower of Babel. You're going to get together, you're literally going to be babbling about nothing. You're going to be in a room with somebody, and you're not going to really have a real plan to grow. It's impossible. Because you know what? We know what a book you got to use to grow? This Bible. That's what you got to understand. We let the Jewish bastards take this Bible and use it against us. They took the stuff out of this Bible and enslaved us because we weren't following our God, right? They took the stuff out of this Bible, skipped the laws. All they saw was, oh, in this Bible, these people enslaved other people. Because we had laws, we could slave other nations, right? That was for us. Because we was going to be righteous, but we're not going to rape you. We're going to have you go to work. Slave means to work, right? That's what it meant to us. It didn't mean come and rape your children and slap you and do all this weird stuff to you. And when it's time for you to go, you go.
And you got your a state holiday too.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It was a peaceable slavery. If the white man would have followed the laws of God in our slavery, we almost couldn't even fuss. We almost could say, they put money in our pocket, right? They gave what they did. We can see they would damn near have a argument, but no, them bastards was horrible. That demon was on there. That's why the Lord cut them off, because we put ourselves in that position, but that bastard did that. You know what I'm saying? He did that. Right? So my point of saying that is they took this book, enslaved us with it. We not knowing that when they did that, right? Let me explain what happened with slavery. They took us from, let's say somebody take us out of America and take us to Ukraine, right? We go to Ukraine, they take this same book, put it in Ukraine language, and we don't know Ukraine, right? They're telling us something out of a book, and they didn't put it together a certain way that we had it in letters and scrolls, right? They put it in a book form, put a name on it, the English name. We don't know what they're saying, and they're reading it to you. That's all that was. That's how Christianity came about. We didn't know what the heck that was our same book, because it was in English. We spoke Hebrew, right? That's how that happened, man. But they read it. You know what I'm saying? They took the time to know what it said. Get it broken down to them. You know what I'm saying? They had forms of the Bible before King James in English. And the main thing they saw was, we can enslave these people. This is their book. It's a book of God. At that time, people don't realize in them 1100s, and 1200s, and 1400s, they knew who God. They knew it was a God of Israel. They knew that, right? They knew that there was something different about those people. So but they knew after 70 AD that these people were on the run. These people were not in their position they was in, right? Rome had taken down. Rome had knocked the temple down in 70 AD and began a process of replacing us with taking our stories, you know what I'm saying, coming up with this Serapis thing and all that, you know what I'm saying, taking credit for it, trying to interpolate things in history that wasn't there.
And taking out, making sure that the name of Judah was nowhere being written.
That's in Psalm 93, right? Yeah.
Like I said, if you said the name Jude, you be beheaded. You can't praise on the right name.
Right. And that's in the Apocrypha. That's why the Catholic Church took the Apocrypha out, because you can prove that Maccabees was a real man. That's a real thing. We're about to have in our feast day, December 14th, Iconica. We talk about Maccabees. They cannot deny that Maccabees was real. He was a black man, and that he had a Maccabean revolt. That was after Christ, right? That's when they had to keep. They started really keeping records of everything. This is late. This is 2nd century. That's when everything was kept a record of. But we want to keep the records. Any record you kept was destroyed in that temple. They destroyed our records in 70 AD. That's how we don't have regulations of Paul and Christ and all this stuff. That's why it's not where you can go and find a letter authentic all the time. Because they destroyed it. They destroyed the originals. Right? So that goes back to us not having knowledge of that stuff. You know why we don't got that knowledge? Because we look at the Bible as a white man's book. But what tripped me out is when our people go look at history, they'll make their mind up that this Bible was written by a so-called white man. But you'll go read history, and you don't see the loopholes in history. You don't see that. You don't see that this is a man that went somewhere, saw what he saw this, and he wrote down what he thought about it. And you're going to take that as the word of God instead of taking the word of God. Because it all lines up. I had a nigga the other day tell me, what did nigga say? I heard him say on his live. He said, the fall of Jerusalem did not happen simply because there were no J's in 70 AD.
The letter J?
The letter J. He said he thought he had dropped the ball.
Boom.
He thought he dropped the ball. He thought he dropped the ball.
Hey,
And the first thing that came to my mind, wasn't it a river of Jordan that's been here since the 5th millennium? It's been called the River of Jordan. Something ain't right? It's called the River of Jordan. It's been called that. They had a transliterative name. It was called Jordan, right? Jerusalem was called Yasharalai. Very simple. But we take that and think that's knowledge.
It's like, this is one thing I never understood, right? This is one thing I always get when you talk to somebody, right? And for you ask them, so was Jesus black? And they'll say either, yes, he was black, or nobody know what color he was, or something like that. But if you say he black, you never thought to say, well, what about if he's a Jew, and when they make all the other Jews black?
Right. And when you hear that Christ being black, right, and you take that in, you got to know it was a conspiracy against that nigga. Racism, I don't care what they say. There's another thing they try to hide in history. They act like racism wasn't a thing back then. I don't care what they say. You ain't gonna tell the white man racist.
I got a question about these two concepts.
Go ahead.
So I always wondered. That's why I was like, this shit didn't make sense to me. Cause okay, you mean to tell me it went till they got on boats to get all the way over here? White folks got racist then.
Exactly.
So why would Paul? You mean to tell me why would Paul write a letter to a whole nother ethnicity,
right,
knowing that they don't fuck with them?
Right.
Why would you? So why would Paul or Peter, anybody, write letters to a non-Israelite?
Right.
So why would, and if the non-Israelites, you know that black and white really never mess with each other.
Right.
Why would all of a sudden he's trying to talk to the whole other nation instead of the people he's talking to?
Right. And the Bible in Genesis told you Esau was red and ready. He described Esau that you know there was a difference in his skin tone. Very simple, right? And yeah, he mixed in with the Africans and the Canaanites and all that stuff in there. But that's all them white babies. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, they might have had, they had a little shade in them, maybe, right? But their forefather, pale white. Now you look at history, they'll tell you they didn't start calling them white man to the 18th century. Now, you know how crazy that is? But you had slavery in 1419. But you gonna tell me they didn't know a difference?
You can't tell.
They didn't classify him as a white man until the 18th century. But you had slavery of dark-skinned people in 1400s.
You can tell that.
So that's what we got. There really was a conspiracy to hide this stuff, man. And the average black man who just won't lose a historian, I respect the man that reads. I respect him, man, but you gotta have a spirit to read. You got, General Hyman said something. I think I posted on my page. You gotta know how to read history, man. You gotta know who the devil is when you're reading history. You can't just read history and say, this say this say it. You gotta say, okay, well, that timeline matches up or don't match up with this timeline. People got an agenda on both sides of it. People got agendas, man. It's an agenda of people that was trying to make up stuff to make the Bible true instead of just letting it, be what it is. It's a guy, I forgot his name, he made up a whole story about the proof of Noah's Ark, right? It was so unnecessary because it didn't even make sense. You ain't gonna get no proof of Noah's Ark. You know why? Because ain't no date on Noah's Ark. We don't know the date it happened. How you gonna get proof of something we don't have the date? Moses put that in Genesis, right? That was an oral thing he got that he was told. And he told the story, right? He went there. They don't have a date. That happened way before his time. Damn it, I thought I put on Do Not Disturb. I put it on airplane mode, not Do Not Disturb. I hope it didn't mess up the stream.
I don't see you back here like this. I don't see you back here.
All right, tap the screen for me. Is it blacked out?
White out.
Is the camera back up?
Mm.
I'm saying close it out. Just hit this yeah.
It's still white. One back, go to camera. It's still recording, but it's blank.
I'm saying close the app out, close it out, and then open it back up.
I don't do no app. No app.
I'm gonna see it might come on.
These are the part will come out. Never had that phone day in my life. So what we have? 14.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's gonna be in Birmingham, Atlanta, Nashville.
Hold on. Let's see what else. Okay, there you go.
No, it's good. That's good. All right. All right. What was that? Bring it up just a little bit.
Bring it up to you.
No, bring it to the screen up. No, you know what? That's fine. If you leave it like that, that's fine. All right. All right. All right. Finish that scripture.
Romans chapter 10, verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
Right. But not according to knowledge. Keep going.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness,
Right.
and going about to establish their own righteousness,
Right.
and have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
Right. Right there. They just described, we talked about last week when I talked about knowing the knowledge of good and evil. People are establishing their own righteousness. That's why it's hard for people to come together. That's why it's hard for us to join into one body and become one and grow, because you've established your own righteousness. Right? You don't think the laws of God are righteous. That's the problem. And the ones who call themselves Israelites, they don't think it's righteous to follow a man. When Christ left authority to a man, people want to look at God as some mystical being when he used us to do his work. That's what our job, right? Our job is to do the work of the Lord. We're not, he don't, you want God to come out the sky and do every little thing for you. Guess what? You still will believe. That was done right. God came down and did hands-on work. The people want God to stop world hunger. He want to stop a baby from getting on crack. He want to stop a car from hitting a little girl. He want to stop a nigga from getting shot. He got to be all them places. When he over there doing that, you're going to be over here saying, that's a fact. That's in the Bible. That's what you did. He came and talked to you face to face. You got scared and gave you in the sin. After 40 days of not talking to him, you went and built a damn calf. We did it. I ain't gonna say it to y'all. We did it. Right? But this is what he's talking about. He said we got ignorant of God's righteousness. It's a righteous thing to come together with your brothers under one banner. It's a righteous thing to understand that Commander General Yahanna kept this school open for us to come together. Not for you to go and break off and start. It's a group I just heard about called Wi-Fi. I mean, Lord, goddamn. Why y'all keep creating groups? I'm meeting brothers now that I know myself that have been in 3 different Israelites. And I ain't been in this thing long compared to the men above me. I know men personally that have been in 3 different groups and scared. And the last one I talked to, he don't want to come in here because we let women wear pants. That's the reason he don't want to come in here. Because women can wear pants. You know how wicked that type of thing is, man. Niggas don't want to join because a woman
Why is that bothering you? Her wearing pants? Is her wearing a dress every day gonna stop her from being a hoe? Is that gonna make her a good wife? But do you know what the world thinks about us? The world thinks all Israelites don't let women wear pants because you niggas out here spewing lies about the Bible. You niggas out here wearing purple everywhere, and when they talk about Israelites, they think about niggas in purple because y'all want to go to somebody's church and think you put a dent in anything. You ain't bring out now Christian from that belief system. You made them go harder because you're idiots and you have terrible leadership. All you did was make that church famous, and you made the Christians in that building want to go hard. Now you started, instead of a conversation, now it's a, I hate all the Israelite niggas because y'all stupid. That's not how that works. You go on to somebody's event, marching down the road and like all that. Black people got a natural warrior spirit. When you come against what they doing, oh, they don't want to hear nothing you're talking about right now. You gotta let black people make the mistake and say, hey, this is what went wrong. That's how they go. You gotta say, hey, listen, that's why we over there on this corner. Come to class, sis. Come to class, bro. That's why this happened to you. That's how they go. You're not gonna go stop them man on their good Sunday moments. You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. That's why them niggas be getting beat up like that, man. Lord ain't with you on that. That ain't what he told you to do. He told you to build up that sanctuary so when they do want them answers, they can come to you. Just like the Lord let us be out there all that time and then slaughter us. We got to be ready for them when they got there all that time and they don't get slaughtered. Then they want the truth. Let them come. They don't know, okay, it's an open door policy. You come when you ready, brother. You come. When you ready, sister, you come. Bring your family, come eat something. You ain't ready, all right, get some food before you go. You know what I'm saying? Simple. We're going to be here. That's bad leadership, man. That's why this thing is not going the way people want it to go. That's why the Israelite movement is not where it needs to be. You got all these rookies out here, man. It's a lack of brotherhood. It's a lack of brotherhood and sisterhood. That's what it boiled down to. Keep reading that.
It's like Romans chapter 10, verse 3. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness and having submit themselves unto the righteousness of God.
Right.
For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth.
Right. If you believe on Christ, let me show you what Christ did. Go to Acts. So like that's John. Give me one. It's go to Matthew. Go to Matthew 16 and 24. And we'll show you what Christ did. If you believe on Christ, you believe things like this to happen.
Is it 16 and 24?
16 and 24. Matthew 16 and 24.
Matthew chapter
start at Matthew 16 and 18.
Matthew chapter 16 and 18. And I saw into thee that thou art Peter, and upon the rock I will build my church.
This is Christ saying that he left, he gonna build the rock up on who? On Peter, a man, a flesh and blood man that we don't argue about. We don't argue about, whether he was a God or not. He left the authority to a man, right? Christ was a man and left authority to a man. Keep going.
I build my church.
Right.
And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Right. The gates of hell is the confusion our people are in right now. Black folks can front all you want. Everybody's frustrated right now, man. That's why you see all these different movements and thought processes. Black people as a whole are frustrated. I see you, Kadai. I see you, sis. I see you, Kuna. That's it, But yeah, black people as a whole are frustrated, man. That's why you see in this FBA, the NFA, all these different rooms, people having these conversations. It's a frustration that we all have. We as Israelites are supposed to have a place for them to go when they want to go and get the answers. Right? But what happens is when you go into a certain space, it's 5 different leaders in one room. Instead of everybody having the same language, saying the same thing, breaking down the same thing, being able to have the same conversation, you got a bunch of little kids all over the place.
It's like because they want to save everybody.
They want to save everybody. They're mad about more than one wife. They don't believe in Christ. Yeah, all kind of weird stuff. I met a nigga the other day, he don't believe in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of weird things. Some niggas believe you can mess with little girls.
That's diabolical.
Like it's out there. So that's the problem. And you got some that want to beat on your wife. You know what I'm saying? You got some that want to mistreat, do all these weird things. And that's the forefront of what we have to fight against. That's the hell, right? That's the hell that Commander General Hunter, who the Lord who was left in charge. We have proof to show this man was the one left in charge because he the only one did what he did. Everybody else broke off from what he built. He the only one stayed. That's proof. Nobody else did that. Everybody else lied, schemed, and took men with them.
Yeah, don't know about all the work.
Right? But guess what else happened? Guess what happened to though? I can say proof that he happened. Same thing happened with Christ. You had a misunderstanding about something that came out of his mouth. When Christ said, drink my blood, eat my flesh. You know how many people Christ said with him? Oh, when he said that?
More than 12.
Oh, who knows? Give me a number. Who knows? Send somebody in the comments if you don't know. Who know how many people Christ had with him before he said that?
More than 12. More than people at that
It was
point.
way more than 12.
Way more people at that point.
Christ had 5,000 people actively listening to him, finding where he at. If everybody knew he was going to be there, he had 5,000 people. At that time, man, trust me, that's I'm talking about bodies. These ain't online watchers. These bodies. Just leaving where they at, coming to see you. How many he had when he died? When he was alive? Had 11 niggas, 10 really, because Peter turned his back on him. No, excuse me. Nigga had 9 niggas.
Yeah.
Because Judas turned on him.
Okay.
And Peter said he ain't know him. Okay. He had 9 niggas with him when he left. So that's how I know Commander General Hunter deserved to be leader of this nation. Because he in the spirit of Christ when he moved. That's how I know. That's scripture, right? You know what I'm saying? And we owe it to him to keep it. A disloyal bastard wants to go and start his own group or go be over here. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the ones that never came into the Israelite faith, it's just that zeal but lack of knowledge. That's all it is. You got a zeal, you just don't know what you are distorted about what the Bible actually says. You think the Bible is a wicked thing. You think it's going to oppress black people, but it's actually the only thing that's going to free black people. Right. What I'm hearing now is black people are spiritually understanding that black, brown, and Native American people are our brothers and sisters, right? See, the way I see it, it's going to be a spiritual gathering, right? Like this FBA thing. They all right, but at least they'll break away from the Africans. The world is going to bring out talking points the ISUPK been saying for years. They're going to start all of a sudden saying these things, and we're going to have to pull up old tapes where we say, hey, we've been saying this. We've been telling you who this was, right? That's when they'll come in, right? That's cool. But right now, you're gonna get this checking about trying to start your own thing, right? Okay, keep going.
Okay. It's like, yes, sir.
You was on 19.
And it's like Romans chapter 16 and 19. And I will give unto the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Mhm.
And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bonded in heaven.
Right.
And whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven.
Right. He said, whatever man moving in the spirit of God, whatever he's putting out, do it. Follow the order, right? You building that kingdom up. He gave him the keys. Keep going.
Thou changed his discipline.
He charged his disciples.
He charged his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ.
Right. That's for you people that want to look for proof and wondering why people didn't write letters about Christ when he was alive. He said it right here. He told his own disciples, don't tell nobody who I am. So take the Christ word out. He said, don't know I am the Savior. Right? Christ's name broke down to the Lord Saviors. He's told his men, don't let them know who I am. So for you out there that want to know why ain't no letters about Christ, he said out his own mouth, if he told them, don't tell nobody who I am, why would some damn emperor write about him while he alive? It's impossible. He's telling the men in his circle, don't tell nobody. That's very simple. But we don't. That's another part of that knowledge I'm talking about. Keep going.
From the time forth being Jesus to shew unto the disciples how.
So like, go down to chapter 24.
It's like, then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
Right. And follow him. Right. So when you say follow him, he left Peter in charge. What is he saying?
Follow Peter.
Follow Peter. That's what he's saying. That's what people want to say. He left him in charge. That means he left a man in charge to run the nation. That, you know how revolutionary it is for black men to swallow their pride and say con and follow an order. You know how revolutionary that is in this time and age when every man wants to be a boss, right? That's the problem with a lot of our brothers and sisters, especially Judah. We want to be the boss of everything. When everybody's not meant to be in charge, you're not even equipped to that. If you understood what it means to even be over a zone, right? You're responsible for everybody under you. I mean, the phone ring, you gotta help your brother out. Everybody don't want to do that. Everybody's not built for that. And sometimes you have to at least try to go be that to know that's not for you. Some men are good soldiers. Ain't nothing wrong with being a good soldier. Everybody's not meant to lead in every situation, right? But the issue is when you have your woman, your children, right? You run your household. When you come into a bigger body, you taking orders. That's revolutionary. That's the only way we're gonna build anything. Because no other men think like that. Other men want to be their own men, and they don't want to help anybody. They don't have the answer. They just tell you to go be a man. I guarantee anybody who's telling you to come away from this Bible, they're gonna tell you to figure out the rest on your own. Just don't worship that. That's what they say. They say don't read the Bible. Don't follow this Bible. But go figure out the rest on your own. Don't read your instruction, man. Let's go. Be a man. It's some men out here that unalive people. It's men out here that great. It's men out here that got demons that they don't even know they have yet. It's men out here that's trying to actively fight them demons. And you want to go tell them to go be a man. When they don't even know what that is. They have a father that told them that. They were around wicked people their whole life. But you want to go tell them, hey, we ain't gonna follow this. Black people ain't following the Bible. What else you giving them? You have nothing else to give them. Because there's nothing else that was put together They're gonna describe you can't put together a book better than this.
No.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's been people that's been against the Bible now at least since the 60s and 70s. Ain't nobody put a book together. If you think this is a white man's book, why you ain't putting nothing better together? Why is not no book you got where you wrote this? And let's go have a building that we go to on a set day and read this. You can't do it. Because it was God inspired. I don't care who you think touched it and corrupted it. The message got to the people. The message still made it here. That's how you know it was God. Don't worry about King James or none of that crap, man. That's crazy work. How the hell else you think it was going to get? It had to go through people who really didn't give a damn about us. It had to go through them. We would have never got it. It had to touch the hand of the Catholic Church, or we would have never got it. It had to go through wicked ass people for them to read it, try to say, oh, I like that. That's some power. There's power in the book, so a man of power is going to gravitate to it. It's about kings. It's about rulers, right? Okay. So a ruler going to read it and say, hell yeah, no matter what race he is. So to get to the people that's poor, he make you think that you are the bottom of that book. And now the children of slaves don't even want to touch the book. They think it belongs to the slave master. That's how that went. That's how that go. Keep going.
For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and
right.
Whosoever will lose his life for the sake shall find it.
Right. And that's the bitch you gotta give up what you give your lust, man. You gotta give up things that you thought that you think was beneficial to you. Just you. You gotta look at what's beneficial to your nation. That's the problem. You don't want to join something because you want to keep smoking weed. You want to be on drugs. Name me an organization out here in the earth that tells you cannot smoke cigarettes. It's not one. Because they don't care what you do in your free time, as long as you show up, pay your fees. They don't care about your illicit. They don't care about your illicit sex life, right? You can be somewhere else and go get paid. You can't be in here getting paid. Right? That's the issue. And that's why nobody wants to come under a righteous body, man. That's revolutionary. To you be a part of something where, man, I can't be like this because I'm ashamed of my brothers. I mean, when I first came into school, that's what got me to quit smoking myself when I first came in. When he said, man, you're going to be out there in camp, and you're going to have that demon of smoking on you and your brother's going to get hurt. Something about that struck me. I didn't want to be the one that count and then the weakest link is me because I can't quit smoking. Because the demon sees the weakest link. I'm going to show you that in the Bible too. The demon going to always see the weakest link. He knows that demon will alert to a weak link every time. Every time. Keep going.
It's like chapter 26, Matthew 16 and 26. For what is a man a prophet if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Right. Drop that and give me 1 Peter 4:1. 1 Peter 4:1. Yeah, 1 Peter 4:1.
1 Peter chapter 4 verse 1. For as much then as Christ have suffered for us in the flesh, in the flesh, armed himself likewise with the same mind.
Right, so he's saying much as Christ suffered, you got to arm yourself with the same mind. Keep going.
Same mind. For he that halted his suffering, who halted suffered It's like
that suffer.
for he that suffered in the flesh, how caused from sin.
You have ceased from sin. So if you suffer in the flesh, that's you gotta suffer with your brothers, man. Like when you come on brotherhood, I don't think there's anything I like to somebody, if anybody in the chat or know anything that's even remotely close to what we do in the UPK in terms of it's men that naturally can go sleep with a whore. You can go out to a club, meet a woman, and have sex with her if you feel like it today. Literally go in there for 2 hours, walk out with some, sleep with her, never talk to her again. Right? You got brothers that have a desire to go and get high. You got brothers who have a desire to do a bunch of things, but they suffer that to not do it no more for this brotherhood. I don't know another organization that asks you to do that. Everybody says the UPK is too militant, and I say that's the definition of revolution, right? Revolution and militant gotta go together, or else it's not a revolution. Keep going.
That he no longer should live, it's like you say, for he that's suffering in the flesh ceased from sin. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God.
Right. Give me your old lust up. Keep going.
For the time past our lives may suffer us to have wrong that will of the Gentiles.
When you wrought the will of the Gentiles, man, that means you're doing the will of the devil, basically. When they talk about the Gentiles, talking about you doing the will of the other nations. Right? When you out here talking bad about Mexicans, you're doing the will of other nations. When you out here not giving a damn about the Native Indians, right? When you don't want to come together as black people, when you're more worried about when you so worried about voting that you don't even want to identify yourself first, right? This is the thing about people that want to go vote, right? That's all fine and dandy, but how you gonna get together and vote if we not on the same page? Why would that even make sense? If I want to get high, I want to get high, he hate drugs, right? I'm moving more wives. You got a problem, but he ain't in the head more wives, right? You want to save white people? I know God not, right? How are we gonna walk together? What's the goal? Who we gonna put in office? That's gonna somebody call?
Street, the camera went asleep when it went off. You still see it on camera?
I wonder is it dead? Damn, if it's dead, it might be dead. Shit, I did an hour. Damn, I had more though. It might be dead. Press the button on there. They ain't doing that. Yeah, it's dead. It's all good shit. I got more to talk about next week. Hey.
The reason why it seems like women in the 90s, celebrity women.
Damn. Is it? Let's see if we can charge that up. Hold on.
I ain't seen nothing like no beeping there.
It won't come back on at all? Because I ain't got to charge it. Is it back on? Because that charge ain't working. Damn. I thought it was going to hold to the rest of the class. Damn.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth, and he would be to Aaron instead of a God. That's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need, because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.